Hey everybody, welcome back to We Are Podcast. This is Camp Slash Horrorcast Season 4, Episode 7, The Blob. If this is your first time checking out the podcast network, we appreciate it. Please head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast Network a like. And just a reminder, Camp Slash Horrorcast is a weekly live videocast available on Twitch and YouTube. We go live every Monday at 8 p.m. Central Time at twitch.tv/WeArePodcastNetwork and youtube.com/WeArePodcastNetwork. As the Camp Slash Horrorcast is live, I will not be editing the audio for this podcast. So what you saw live is what you get here. Please come watch the stream every Monday at 8 p.m. And if you want to see the previous streams, go check out our Twitch or YouTube channel. And for a full list of future films we'll be watching, please head over to Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /WeArePodcast. All links can be found in the description. And with that, on to the Horrorcast.
The only scenes that matter are Shawnee Smith, and that's it.
Yeah, you're right.
Why is she so much hotter in this than she is in Saw?
Ridiculously
Because she
hot.
was like 19 years old.
Yeah.
All
right.
That makes me have that's opening up weird doors. Just kidding.
No, it's cool because David was also 19 years old when this movie came out.
Oh,
right.
Boom.
I was.
90? Did you say 90?
It
19.
was also a contract condition of Kevin Dillon whenever he did a movie that his romance interest had to be a teenage girl.
All right,
That Dillon family.
We are live. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Camp Slash Horrorcast, where we talk horror movies from the past every Monday at 8 p.m. Central. I am your head camp counselor, Duck. I'm here with other head camp counselors. We have Raph, the sky. It fell from the sky. Ramirez. Raph, how are you doing, sir?
Fantastic, sir.
Excellent. Excellent. Next, we have David. Does he have Blue Cross? Jessup. Do you, David?
That's a
Great line. And no, I don't.
Very important. Next, we have Jay Ribbed McClintock. Jay, how are you doing, sir?
I am doing well, man. Just got off a fresh watch, and I'm very excited to talk about it.
Fuck yeah, me too, dude. I've never seen it before, but I'm going to get into it here in a minute. Next, we got Miles. Chew on that slime ball, Francis. Miles, how are you, sir?
Only reason I'm here is to make a case that Johnny Chase is a superior actor than Vincent Chase is. That's my whole
Boom.
opinion on this movie.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but we will get into it. Next, we have Sean. What a rush. Trainer. Sean, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good, man. I've never seen a Steve McQueen movie before. It's good.
Oh, then you watched the wrong one.
He pulled a Jacob and watched the wrong one.
And finally, we got Dan. It's the biggest son of a bitch you've ever seen. Dan Z. Dan, how are you doing, sir?
How's it going, everybody? I feel tricked into doing this.
Because
I felt tricked 10 minutes into this movie.
Because you were good, sir. That's how we do it here at Camp Slash Horrorcast. Guys, we watched The Blob, 1988's version, release date August 5th, 1988 to be exact. Running time 95 minutes with a budget of 10 million. Only made back 8.2 million. Ooh.
Wah, wah,
Wah.
Get out.
Synopsis: a deadly entity from space crashes near a small town and begins consuming everyone in its path. Panic ensues as shady government scientists try to contain the horrific creature. Can't believe I made it through that. Let's watch a trailer, and hopefully it'll be good.
Wait, wasn't that the inside of a flashlight that fell from the sky?
Oh my god!
All
right.
right, that's my time. I'm out of here.
All righty, have a good night. All right, here we go. The Bloob. You guys see it?
Yes.
If it had a mind, you could reason with it.
Oh, got narrator and everything.
In a world, if it had a body,
The good one.
you could shoot it.
Jerk
If it
off
had a
on you.
heart, you could kill it.
Oh, there's the badass.
Now, man is no longer.
Don't he look
the
like Kevin Bacon, though, the badass?
on this
A little
planet.
bit. Kevin Dillon, Kevin Bacon, it's all
The
the same.
organism is growing at a geometric rate. By all accounts, it's at least 1,000.
Can't believe that guy got
times
trailer
its
time. That's shocking.
Nobody believes me about what
Shawnee.
happened tonight.
What did happen?
You were there.
David?
You saw.
Hey, please. You're over there just licking them chomps.
I
You
met
didn't
her at a
actually
con.
realize he had joined.
No,
the
you didn't.
call
Shut
yet.
up. All right, fuck this. Fuck this trailer. Story
Yeah.
time. David met her at a con. Explain, please.
So I went as Steve Awesome, and it was her. She's in a
Man.
Callback, Sean.
she's in a country duet band with the girl that was she was in the remake of Willy Wonka, and she's also in Galaxy Quest, and she played one of the aliens.
The blonde
in Galaxy
girl. Yeah, I
Quest.
know you're talking about.
Yeah.
She plays
Yep,
the
and
mother.
So the two of them are in a country band. So they came to a con over in Richardson, and they were signing autographs. And I went up to Steve Awesome, and I went up to the other girl, not to Shawnee. I yelled, "I loved you" in the Blob. And the other girl, I said, "Hey, make that noise you make in Galaxy Quest."
Oh
and she
my
goes,
God.
"Ah." And I was like, "Thank you," and I just walked away.
Oh, that's
Nailed it.
Just and then
Yeah.
walked away.
I'm sure all day long, Shawnee was like, "Who was that hot
Who
guy?"
the
He said,
fuck was that
blah,
guy?
blah, blah. Yeah, she's used to it. There's one at every con. All right, guys, histories with the movie. Does anyone have history? Start with Raph. Have you seen it before, Raph?
Yeah, man, I have history with it.
What's up?
It was one of those movies that I got to see with at my cousin's house in El Paso. You know, wasn't supposed to see them, and he ended up. It was one of the ones that I did get to see with the family, and I just fucking love that movie. So I ended up in Fort Worth, Texas, in 5th grade at South Hills Elementary School, and they were doing an art project thing where I drew a watercolor of the Blob in the city eating people. Right, it was a huge poster size. I ended up winning in my category. I didn't know it was a contest.
Whoa.
First place, and it got shown at the Kimball Art Museum in Fort
What
Worth.
the fuck?
Jesus Christ,
Yes, dude. That is awesome.
They took us on a tour there, and mine was right there on a frame. It was the Blob, and I never fucking got it back.
Jesus,
I
It's
don't
in
know what
some
happened
rich
to
dude's
it.
house right now.
Yeah,
Raph, what mistakes did you make to go from there to where you are now?
yeah. It was all
Tell us
uphill.
all so we don't do it.
Yeah,
No,
that
no,
is
no.
It's
basically
coming back
Beacon.
around now.
After the Kimball Art Museum, it's all downhill. Is the problem? Yeah.
Well, I need to find it, man. I really like it. I still remember what I drew, and I was just so excited. That inspired me a lot, you know, to keep writing and drawing. But man, yeah, that's my experience with it.
That is awesome. I don't think anyone's going to top that, but we'll find out. Miles, do you got history with this movie?
I mean, I've seen it. I don't have any like emotional or familial relationships to it, but yeah, it was a good VHS when I was a kid and didn't impact my life in any other way.
Damn straight. All right, David, what's your history with the movie?
Saw opening night, absolutely loved it, but it wasn't one of those movies that I revisited. And watching it over the weekend was the first time I'd seen it in years. And so it was really nice because it was like seeing it for the first time. Even though I knew certain things, there was a lot of it I had forgotten. And so, yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. But I loved it when it came out, saw it in the theater. It was a blast. I still think it's a crime. I know Shawnee Smith is somewhat famous, but I think that she should be way famous, way more famous
an action
than she
hero,
is.
man. She should
Yeah,
be
she
a
is
Sigourney
so
Weaver.
she chews up every scene. You know, her facial expressions are great when she's screaming and freaking out, and
Yeah.
I just love her.
The director said if any character was a Steve McQueen character in this movie, it
Yep.
would be her. So
For sure.
I think that's high praise, and she's an action hero on this. It's really cool. Jay, what's your history with the movie?
I saw it pretty young. Saw it when I was in 6th grade. It's one of those movies that my grandpa let me get from the old grocery store video store.
Hell
If you remember.
yeah! Half the
anyone-
movies of the regular video store. Yeah.
Saw this with a little double feature with this and a movie called Frankenstein Unbound. If anyone remembers that
I remember
classic.
that. I remember that.
So yeah, and to be honest, like I remember seeing it, and I had already seen the original, but this one kind of stuck with me for a minute. And as a 12-year-old kid, especially seeing, spoiler alert with what goes on later in the film, I was like, this one kind of got to me for a little bit. It subsided relatively quickly, but at the same time, I was like, yeah, this one's a little daunting, and it's taken so much more seriously than its predecessor, obviously, as we can, I'm sure we can all, agree if you have seen the original. But yeah, it got a lot of airplay on the cable stations throughout the 90s. So I was able to catch it at least 2 or 3 more times. I got a very healthy history with it, I'll say.
Very nice. The original filmed in Pennsylvania. This one filmed in Louisiana, but takes place in Colorado, oddly. I don't know why. Sean, do you got history with this bad boy?
Yeah, man. My history with this goes back like wow, that 6:30 today. Dude, hey, there's a piece of this thing I'll never forget. So
Can you remember?
It was a long time. You know, it's funny because I'm not a huge horror guy, and so anytime I watch these things, it's like it's opening my eyes to the horror stuff. But you know, surprisingly, quite a bit of good graphics. You know, like you know, you had talked earlier that the film was a $10 million film, but relative, it's actually like 24.7 million. So that seems like a pile of money they used. And you know, other than the expensive helicopter later, I guess it was all spent on slime. But
it was $9 million worth of it was spent on the practical effects. So that additional 1 million was spent on everything else. So
are you kidding me? That's
it's
ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. But we'll get into it in a second. We'll talk about all those practical effects in our left form. Finally, Dan, do you have history with the movie?
This movie murdered my father in Baltimore
Oh
in
my God.
1994.
Why did I invite you on this cast then? I didn't
He's
know.
got to outdo Raph. He's got to beat that Raph story.
Oh my God.
Me and this movie used to go out together as friends, and then it brutally murdered my father. No, I had no history at all.
All right. I know you're not a horror movie fan either, so
I know of the original. I mean, I know of the, you know, the infamous original one.
Yeah, the famous scene where the blob pops out of the movie theater.
Yeah, when you told me to watch this remake, I said, "Oh my God, why did anyone remake that?" It was my first thought. And then the thought translated into movie form.
No, no, I didn't. I knew you were going to take the opposite side of this, and that is wonderful. All right, let's get into talking about this.
Enjoying this episode? Go check out Geekster, a dating and friends app for geeks that focuses on common interests as a way to make meaningful connections. Download today on the App Store or click the link in the description to find out more. Geekster, this is what happens when nerds collide. Geekster, available on iOS and Android.
Dan, before everyone does a love fest on this, I hope everyone does a love fest on this. Tell us why you didn't like it.
Do you have a clip of the beginning of the movie?
Are
you going to show the very beginning?
As in which scene?
Like the football game?
I have a scene from the football game for David specifically. Yes, I do. Yes,
I'm going to say my favorite thing about the football game when we get to that. But what did I not like about the movie? It's 1988. No movie really knew what they were trying to be at that point. We were going into a new decade. No, let me finish.
I will.
We're going into a new decade. You had the established horror franchises and everything. Like, you could tell at the beginning that this tried to be a good movie. Like, it was trying to set up the character. Stop it. It was trying to set up the characters and make you care about the characters. And there was
the
so
woman
much.
Gets off at 11, Dan. She gets off at 11. Okay.
No, it's trying to make you feel sorry for him. It's trying to make you relate to him. But there's only so much you can do.
She was fucking the bus boy. It's all clear.
Because the big bad is just a fucking blob. Like, if Stranger Things had no effort, this is what it would be.
Stranger Things season 3 did a version of this, and it was awesome.
It was better. Yeah, it was way better.
It was awesome. It was very cool. It was very cool.
Everybody booed this, man.
Who knew with 31 years they could make something better? Congratulations, Stranger Things.
Bravo.
What a feat.
I was hoping for a little bit more than that, Dan. but we'll let your
wait till you start rolling the clips.
That's right.
We'll get there. Your favorite clips.
Let's talk about the movie and what we did like, and then you can, as we do that, you can say no, that sucked. No, that sucked, to tell us why, and then we'll get there. All right, guys, this movie begins, like Dan said, with a football game and a red herring, if you will, with the main character, who the hero is going to be. We think it's going to be the jock football character, and that motherfucker goes out pretty quick. And the director, Chuck Russell, who we also recently watched another movie of his, Nightmare on Elm Street 3, which was a bomb. Yes, he wanted that to happen because he wanted there to be a Steve McQueen kind of character in this, and it to be the red herring, like I said, and kill off that character. I was shocked. Was anyone else shocked whenever he got blobified?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The first time I saw it, I was extremely shocked because he's such the archetype. He's absolutely the archetype, because especially because at the time I was I still am a massive Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4 fan, and Danny, he's also a football guy, and so literally this movie came out the same year as Nightmare on Elm Street 4, and for him to got that quick, I was like, wow.
And badass, the way he goes out, the practical effects on that, the way he's screaming through the blob and everything. How do you not find that scary, Dan? How did that not work for you?
This is 1988.
One of the problems that Dan's doing right now, and it's really hard to do, is when you watch a movie like this, you have to put yourself into 1988. You can't watch it through the lens of 2020. 2022. The thing
I was born the year before. I was born in 87.
We talked about, when the batteries drop. That's our phrase for when a movie really the moment where you're like, that scene was the battery drop for the Blob.
Yes.
Because up to that point, you had a little squishy thing on the guy's arm. You had a cool guy with a half of the body eaten. But this was the first time where you got to see what the Blob was doing to people. And that was such a cool scene, her ripping his hand off and killing that main character. It just really kicks you in the gut. And it's like, okay, here we go. This is not going to be your father's Blob.
Yeah.
This is going to be a fucking, and I loved the idea that the Blob was like an inside out stomach. So it was acidic, and that's how it consumed its victims. But yeah, man, great scene.
That was the only rule that the director and Frank Darabont, the other writer, Chuck Russell and Frank Darabont, made for this movie, was that the Blob would be like an inside-out stomach. That was the only rule. Everything else they said is free game. Let's do whatever we need to do to make this entertaining. And it is. This is a popcorn horror flick. This is almost borderline an action flick in a lot of ways from 1988. And
it definitely goes from, in the very beginning, it is like a stalker horror movie where it's killing off teenagers one by one. And then they do that thing where you actually see a movie within a movie. And you're watching a stalker horror movie, and then it turns into a horror action movie,
which I want to see. Sorry,
yeah,
Mom.
They set that up. No, you're good. They set that up so well with the breakfast scene between the two boys and the mom, like talking about the film and describing it. And yeah, that transition is really cool. One thing I thought was interesting too. I read that they had gotten just a ton of flack for like, oh, you're so unoriginal. All you had was a killer blob. But the
Danzy wrote that review.
It's
a fucking blob, guys.
It's a blob of mess. Yeah, it's no shape. But
that
actually became like more of a challenge for him on set because it was like so reflective, and just the fact that it was shapeless. They talked about how like it actually became ironically more challenging to have like a shapeless entity, just with all the factors of cameras being around it and whatnot that you had to contend with.
Damn straight. I like that kids sitting around the table too, like trying to sneak out. As children of the 80s, we did that, where we tried to, and also playing the parents off each other, like the whole thing, like, oh, can we stay at your house for the night? And then we'll ask your parents, and then you ask them.
Oh yeah, he said he was staying at your place.
Yeah, like, and then you sneak out to go do something.
And then the mom immediately knew too. As soon as both moms got that information, she's like, "Damn it, they went to that movie." Honestly, that feels real too. Like,
yeah, and their house was so busy too. Like, all right, we got to talk about also the Pharmacist. That's a famous character actor. I don't know his name. Jay, do you know his name?
Yeah, Art LaFleur.
God damn it, Jay! You always. I
know him as the Sultan of Swing.
As the what?
The Sultan of Swing, dude.
Sean actually asked me where does he know him from, and I mentioned Sandlot, and Sean immediately got it.
Yeah.
Babe Ruth.
There's another character actor that asked out the girl at the beginning of the movie. I really like that guy. I can't remember his name.
The sheriff.
Yeah, the sheriff.
Yeah.
That's Jeffrey DeMunn. He was in he was
Walking Dead.
In Mist. And the Mist.
Yep.
And the Green Mile. The Green Mile as well.
Frank Darabont's like, oh, you were in a movie that I was a part of? I want to put you in everything I do.
And also the projectionist. I can't think of his name, but he's a character actor too.
Okay.
I'm lost.
God,
only got two.
Dude, it's like Meatloaf said, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. So don't worry about it.
The casting director on this is phenomenal.
Absolutely.
I just don't even know where they found all these people.
Yeah, the character actors in this are through the roof, though. They're so fucking good. They're so good.
It was 1988. They found him outside of like a coke den in LA.
Well, yes,
any work?
Yes and no, because much like Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3 was also script doctored by Frank Darabont, who wrote this and obviously went on to direct, Shawshank, Green Mile, The Mist, all those movies. And so I was told, it could be bullshit. A lot of the actors in this movie were ones that just slightly missed the mark in Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3. Shawnee Smith, Kevin Dillon, a few actors here. Donovan Leitch, who, plays the ill-fated,
Paul.
football player in the beginning.
Yeah,
Paul Taylor, yeah. And so, it's just kind of cool when it's cool to see a movie so soon after another one. We're like, well, we got a spot for you. It just got super overshadowed by the other works.
And oddly enough, the guy who plays Paul and Shawnee Smith went to high school together and actually went to prom together. And
that's crazy.
And I was shocked by that. And then whenever
cool.
they did this movie a couple years later, she read it back to him. So I think that means they probably fucked. So that's cool to me.
Let's talk about
that's
that.
why they didn't have any on-screen chemistry.
I know that's what you got from that. That's what you. Not it's a small world or anything. It's like, so I'm sure they fucked.
I mean, it was prom night.
Genitals connected. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
They were having a lot more sex than we were now, apparently, according to social statistics. Oh God, didn't mean to make the room all quiet.
True though. I want to know what David's fan fiction of Shawnee Smith reads like, because it feel like it exists.
Oh, it is my fan fiction with her is I meet up with her after the Blob.
Never mind.
As Steve Awesome.
Yeah.
This should get put behind a paywall.
I love her in this movie because she's just great, man. Like I said, man, every scene that she's in, the camera's on her. She's
absolutely
great.
Gorgeous. Her acting's
her acting
on point.
is phenomenal, man.
And
her hair extensions don't look as bad as Kevin Dillon's.
Yes, you're right about that.
Those hair extensions were fucking awful. His were
right about
atrocious.
That. And also, she just kills it, and her chemistry with Kevin Dillon is awesome. But let's talk about the heartthrob that is Kevin Dillon. Sweet Jesus, go ahead, Sean.
Hold on. Dylan, did he have a mullet? And I'm just curious, Dave, did you ever have a mullet?
I had feathered hair. I didn't have
kind of the same thing.
I'm just saying,
Dave. I've seen some pictures. You got a pretty borderline mullet back in the day.
I would call it a borderline mullet, but I'll post it in the chat.
Did you feather your pubes too?
It sounds like you may have crossed that border, Dave.
My pubes were they were never.
It's taking you a long time to answer this question.
I would have loved if you screamed out to Shawnee Smith, "I feather my pubes!" Just bounce off.
There's always one of those at every con too, though.
Yeah, I'll take a duck. I do it. Usually I yell it at the Backstreet Boys. Anyhow, that Kevin Dillon was fucking amazing in this movie. He was killer. I don't know anything else he's from. Sean's disagreeing with me.
Platoon.
Tell me about it.
Platoon.
Talk about it. Why do you not think
Entourage, dude?
It was like he watched Rambo and then he got this part and he's like, oh, I know what I'll do. It was a little,
I was trying too hard to make.
Well, in his defense, look at who his brother is. The fucking coolest guy of the 80s.
Who was his brother?
Matt Dillon.
Matt Dillon.
When you're living in a shadow that big, I can imagine you come off like you just come off as a little kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta go get the Blob.
He was good.
So you got Sly Stallone versus what's his brother's name? I can't even remember.
Frank Stallone.
Frank Stallone. He's the Frank Stallone of the 80s. Well, Frank Stallone was the Frank Stallone of the 80s.
That's his entire character on Entourage. He's Vincent Chase's older brother.
And he's arguably the best part of the show.
Without a doubt. But he's still playing that guy who's in his Shadow's brother, except this time he's playing the older brother. So
is he playing or is that just how he is?
Yeah, well, whatever. Made him a lot of money. So Entourage, put him really on the map in general. That and was it No Escape? He was in No Escape. That was a pretty good one.
We talk about Kevin Dillon still?
Yep. Kevin Dillon.
I don't know anything about
Johnny
him.
Drama, dude.
I thought he was awesome in this movie. He might be channeling a little bit of Rambo. He might be trying a little bit too hard to be the bad boy character, but he pulls it off. He's the bad boy with the heart of gold, and I think that's what everyone wants out of him.
He gives one extra too many smirks in every single
scene.
He
was smirking it
There's
up.
always that little.
But I would say that the scene between him and her in the diner, I thought that was really good.
Pretty damn good.
When he was like, well, what did we see?
But when
You
he
know?
got up to
What
the
kind of pie was
freezer
it?
and he's like, "I'll never let you leave." he holds her like he just
like,
met her
"This
like
was
9
mad."
minutes ago.
By the way, that freezer scene, they're not breathing any air. You notice that there's no air coming out.
There you go.
Weak. Dan, it's bad.
And it's not cold.
This
There
is
were-
a body snatchers movie within a Blob movie.
Yeah.
Dan's taking notes right now on his phone.
This-
Fucking
this,
destroy
uh,
us.
I'm trying to calculate how high you guys are because I'm plenty high. And I don't understand how you guys enjoyed that movie.
There
Oh,
were
you didn't
this,
like that
Wunderbar.
scene where he sucks the guy through the sink?
Well, I didn't know where you were going with that sentence. I was shocked at the beginning.
Y'all are like talking about these scenes and these actors like they have some like they have layers and shit. This is just a piece of shit movie. I don't know. I have no idea.
My favorite. You suck,
this
Dad.
movie did have some really cool practical effects, and then it
Yeah,
also
I'll give
had
it
some.
that.
And it
It
also
did.
had some really bad
Bad.
effects that I
Especially
felt
the
like
green
watching
screen,
it.
blue screen, dude.
Yeah,
That
I
shit
felt
was
like that weren't
bad.
necessary. Like I always go back to like the less is more, like Jaws and Alien.
Mhm.
I felt like these guys felt like they needed to show the blob all the time, and I don't think you needed to do that. I
But-
think less is more with this movie.
But I gotta disagree with you there, David. The only reason I disagree is because part of the appeal of what the Blob is, and you could owe this to the original, is the gravitas of the Blob. The whole story is that it's getting bigger and bigger. So in essence, you have to show that it's getting bigger and bigger. That's kind of
The Marshmallow Man.
well, that's kind of the scale. And they even mention it. It's 1,000 times bigger.
No,
So like.
they had to invest that $9 million and stuff. When they had an excuse, they're like, make another scene with
Make
the
it
blob.
bigger.
Tax write-off. That whole
I
thing was
heard
a tax write-off.
I heard it was a real son of a bitch to work with too. Like
Yeah, he was real needy, and he just his rider was huge.
Kane.
Addicted to opioids.
Okay, some of the
Blob was
death
also
scenes-
jealous of his older brother, so he's just really trying to make a stand.
The original Blob.
His brother Matt Blob, yeah.
So some of the depth scenes in this are the coolest depth scenes I've ever
Oh,
seen,
they're great.
especially the
Bro,
plunging the
amazing.
sink and getting
Yeah.
the head sucked into the sink. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I screamed
Telephone
out loud.
booth. The
That was my
telephone
girl.
Three
booth.
right there.
Hey,
Those
did I
back
scream
to
out
back.
loud?
Are
Did I go,
so
yeah?
Those
no.
three scenes right
They-
there. The guys get sucked down, the telephone booth, and then the sheriff.
God damn it,
floats
Raph!
by.
You gotta watch the way
Yes.
you word this shit again.
Crazy,
dude.
bro.
Sorry.
Well, and also I thought the scene, the way it was shot when she comes into the movie theater and it's a strobe light,
yeah,
I thought that
was
just
fucking with me.
fantastic horror cinema right there.
Yeah,
But that's the problem I have with this. Like you have that amazing scene with the phone booth, the guy in the thing, and then you have a shot with Shawnee and Kevin running, and then it shows the blob on
The
the
matting
ceiling.
is so bad,
It's
yeah.
so bad, and I'm like,
That's
it's
very
not
true.
necessary. It's not necessary for that scene.
I would
It's
agree
2
with that.
seconds. Cut that scene out. And
You
so
didn't
there's a
believe
couple
the
stuff
blob
like
was on
that.
the ceiling?
But
Well, it
once
just
again,
looks so bad. It just
what
looks
you
so,
said to
the other
Dancy
stuff
earlier,
is so good.
this is 1988. You got to forgive the practical effects because it's
Well,
not Star Wars. They're
No,
not going to
no.
go back and
I
special
like-
editions and shit.
I liked the practical effects, but it would just make me angry. Like these practical effects are in this movie. Like this could be such a better movie than this. Like, you know, when the fucking face comes off, all that shit. Like it looks great, but then it's a fucking blob.
Dan, what was your tipping point? What was your point where you're like, fuck this movie?
When it said the blob on the screen.
No,
When Ducky asked, "Do you want to be on this podcast?"
Shit.
yeah, that was it.
Ah, damn it.
No,
Oh.
no. Honestly, I wasn't expecting much, but 1988, I was like, okay, not expecting much. But as soon as I saw that the homeless guy's place was like the coolest place in the town, I was like, fuck this movie.
Wait a second. Don't
Like right before
don't
the blob pops up.
don't be an elitist. No one ever said he was homeless. He's credited in the movie as old man, not homeless.
Well, when you first
dude,
see
check
him,
your
your
privilege,
first
bro.
thing
Yeah,
is like,
check your
that's
privilege,
homeless
Dan.
guy.
Yeah,
Check
I
your
know,
privilege,
my
bro.
He's
Anyway,
eccentric.
the first time I saw the blob, I was like, that's not scary. That's not. And then everything else was just cool. Practical effects.
One of the things I had forgotten about watching it years ago, when I saw it, I was like, "Oh shit!" I love the reveal that it's not a fucking asteroid, that it's actually a satellite.
Yeah,
I love that reveal when they pull it out of the ground and you find out, oh shit, it's not an asteroid, it's a fucking project that went bad.
Here's my question though: why would they, if that's a weapon that we're planning on using in warfare, why would we store it in space?
Well, they were
That's where it
trying
could grow,
to see
Jay. Did you not read the novelization? That's the only place it could grow.
That's just America, bro. That's what America does.
Yeah, they grow stuff in space.
It grew all over Louisiana, the movie theater, and it just kept growing. So no, that's inaccurate. It could grow outside of that.
Sean read the novelization.
I'm glad Sean corrected himself.
All right, he
Sorry.
John
He
read
was
both
saying
the
it. Sean's
first and
brain
the
went,
second
no.
movie's novelization, so he's got the inside scoop.
No, but
and
that's
the
what
sequel. It's all in Louisiana.
the writing in this is great. I think Danzy's going to say it isn't. That's fine. But I think that like the little quips and stuff like that, the way that they twist things, everything's set up perfectly. It's a tight script. It's 100
When the cops
minutes.
abuse the guy's right.
I mean, the fact that he said, that was no good. The fact that they set up the date at 11 o'clock, he shows up, and then you see in the telephone booth, you see the body of somebody, the cop, and then you see the badge next to
Oh
it.
my God.
Oh my
Jesus
God.
Christ, Sean, what's happening?
Yes, he was reenacting.
He was doing the scene.
He's reenacting the scene. There it is. I thought that was awesome. I thought that was great. Like everything that's set up is paid off. The fact that they set up the snowmobile or whatever it is in the beginning of it, and then they pay it off in the end. The fact
How about the date, the condom, the date, and the whole
the
condom
ribs
date
part was hilarious.
And the guy goes ribbed.
And then they stole it for Spider-Man
Penny.
Homecoming. They stole
they
the
did?
exact same thing. Yeah, because the Vulture ends up being the father of the kid.
Oh, yeah.
And like, it's great,
Well,
dude.
that condom pharmacist is like an old street joke. I mean, that's been around forever.
Yeah.
So I don't think
It's
like
kinda like the
Spider-Man
lady in the-
stole it from this
yeah.
movie per se.
It's an old like a wives' tale type of thing.
No, it's
But it was
hilarious.
it's done well. It's quick. But I got to be honest though, I kind of lose interest when it turns into like a action movie at the end. I prefer
that third
the
act falls
horror.
apart for you?
Yeah. I mean, once they get at it, like the sewer scene, I thought was another great.
Dude, in the
scene.
water is so good.
Yeah.
When he's
His
I love the
motorcycle.
Oh, that,
Oh, when
I
he
forgot about
ramps that son of a bitch,
Yeah, dude.
ramps the blob. Come on,
He does lay out on that thing though,
Yeah.
like 4 or 5 times in this movie. It does make
That poor
me
bike.
question.
That bike that was like an abusive ex-girlfriend.
Yeah,
That
he
was
just
really-
left it everywhere.
Yeah. I'll go back and
He's like,
get her.
I'll be
"I'm
back,
leaving."
baby.
Did homie get his
12
12
miles
sockets
later.
back, by the way?
No.
No,
By the way,
prison.
did you guys notice the guy from RoboCop as a deputy?
Oh yeah,
Mm.
he's also from
Melty guy.
ER.
Oh, I didn't know he was in ER.
Is he the guy in RoboCop who gets melted in acid?
Yeah.
That's why he called him. That's why he called
I'll
him.
buy
But he
that
gets-
for $1.
He gets bit in half on
That was
this
a great.
one.
That's a great
Yeah.
kill scene. Lots of
But
good kill scenes.
That's
in
all
this.
the kill scenes in this were tight as shit. Like they were
The
so
only one I
cool.
didn't like was the one when he goes in for the boob. You can really see the mannequin turn over.
Bro,
But,
I
it
was
was
so happy
great.
to see that rapey motherfucker get his
I know, right? That is a
Yeah, the
great
rape
80s
trunk
date rape.
with
By the-
his fucking trunk full of rapey drinks and
I know that trunk was pretty dope, though. I mean, even though I don't
Dude.
agree with it, the trunk was pretty sweet.
The mixer is overkill as fuck, though. Dude. He's kind of
Bianca spray in there.
By all means,
automatic,
Miles, let us know your cocktail of choice.
Cocktail trunk.
regardless of the retinol, I use a stir. Okay, I'm like
he had a
classy.
blender, dude. He stirred
made
it
me-
with
battery
egg
blender.
beaters.
The guy had a
battery one.
13-inch dent on the side of his car, and his trunk was all pimped out. He's trying
Sean
to.
could not let that die. Is he gonna address
Yes.
this? Is he gonna call his
No.
insurance?
He had a basketball hoop in his trunk, and the guy thinks that was but he definitely was raping that chick. With
Yeah,
that.
100%
Yeah,
It
1,000,000%.
No,
he
he was
gonna
just
rape
gonna
her.
stop at 3 buttons, and that was it for him.
No. He
As
did
he
like
put his
this.
hand
was-
down, he's like,
I
he's
know
like,
it
"Let me
was
get-"
really creepy because he was acting like he had never seen a boob before. The way he was just like, this is gonna be good.
and he just keeps talking to her dead body.
Yeah,
Hey,
Oh,
you
that's
want to get one more
exactly-
boob?
Oh, yeah, she was
dead
dead.
by then. Yeah.
Yeah, she
Fucking
was.
creepy. How about the music? The music in this movie was amazing.
Very good.
One piano
Not a-
player with the 3 keys he hit.
But it fits so perfectly, and it does the old school like horror thing where it does the horror thumbs when shit happens.
Back then, it wasn't called old skill. It was just normal.
It was trying something new.
Yeah. They did this old school. They didn't just text their way out of the whole plot. I don't know why.
I don't know. My first note was love the music. I love the synth. I love everything about it. I
Hold
think
on, you put the first note is love the music. So
Love
how
the
far
music.
into the movie was this?
30
Yeah,
seconds. I was
yeah.
like, let's go.
It never
Boom.
changed. Okay.
And I had a good time the whole time through, unlike some people we'll get to in a second. And I want to go back to it. I want to go down the line and see if everyone was on the boat or not. Raph, did you enjoy it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, digging it. David, did you enjoy it?
Oh, so much fun. I'm glad I hadn't watched it in years because it was like watching it for the first time.
Really
Wow.
was. It was awesome.
Jay, you enjoyed it? You said?
Absolutely.
Miles, you enjoyed it?
Same exact as David, dude. Like, so glad I watched it again because it's been years, and now I'm like, oh yeah, I need to watch this one more often.
Sean, did you enjoy it?
Man, it was the Blob was definitely misunderstood. You know, he just
Wait,
it
this
wasn't his
wasn't the
fault.
Joker.
He was just
He
going
was-
around.
He
like
was
it's a love
doing what he was
story.
made to do. That's
was
it. It's
blobbing
not
it
his
up.
fault that
That's
Are you
sounds
it.
like
taking the
trash.
Blob side? What
From the
fuck?
moment he showed up, they called him ugly. He has something ugly on his hand. It was like
Fuck with him?
disrespect. Yeah, it was like one of those love movies.
You can follow Sean at Pink Lives Matter.
Danzy, once again, I'm giving you a chance. Tell us exactly where this movie went sideways.
I feel like we all watched a different movie.
Pictures have a bootleg
Like-
Morgan Freeman in it.
To the point where I feel uncomfortable sharing my opinion because it's like 7-on-1.
No, tell us why. Tell us why.
I don't know, man. It was just a fucking terrible movie. It's just
Can't
Did you not like the
What a
RPG
fucking-
explosion?
no. I mean, the practical effects were all cool and everything, but it's just a fucking bad movie. I
Is
don't
this
know.
payback? Is this payback for what Will said about They Live a year and a half ago?
No.
He's not even
No,
here,
I
man.
mean, it wasn't the fucking couch demon thing one of y'all made me watch where like this lazy boy it was Jake. Jake made me watch this movie where this lazy boy was possessed by the devil. It
Yeah,
wasn't
you mean- I think it's called Ghostbusters. It's a pretty popular movie.
shit, yeah, with Rick Moranis.
and this guy named Bill Murray and this other cat named Nerdy Hudson. And,
We actually watched the sister film to that, Deathbed, with Barry Whitewater, and it was excellent.
Deathbed, that was it.
It was amazing, dude. But
But they're just, and I'm sure I'm gonna have something to say about every clip because the only thing I could see in the movie was just like certain things and some scenes were just really unintentionally hilarious.
Good.
And
Yeah.
I don't think you guys have picked up on it.
No, that's good, man.
Well, you know what? To Dan's defense, and I'm a Rotten Tomatoes nerd. I really respect Rotten Tomatoes. I know a lot of people think it's trash, but this does not have a good Rotten Tomatoes. It's 56 and 62. So
Really?
it's not like
I've seen
Dan.
worse though.
I mean,
I've seen worse.
68 critics and 52 audience. So it's wait a minute, that's the 1958 one. Fuck that.
It was like
God
68.
damn it.
I think
And you're
it was
gonna
like
inverse it
68%.
for this
fresh,
one.
dude.
God damn it.
98% fresh. It's only Danzy that doesn't
Yeah,
like it.
Danzy's got the top review. This one
Oh,
sucks.
it's
Wait,
62.
hold on.
I don't
Yeah.
know, man.
I
It's a
don't-
fucking bad movie.
I don't like it. I don't like it how we're acting like it's totally unreasonable for me
Everybody
to find this to be a
boo this
bad
man.
movie. You know,
It's,
like
you know, it's not. I mean, to me, I think it's
Blob.
I think it's a great 1980s horror movie. For me, I think it's a great 1980s horror movie. And 1980s horror movies were not considered cinematic art.
No.
So it's a fun. You're right, Duck. It's a popcorn horror movie, and this was a blast to watch in the theater. I always love it when you're watching a horror movie in the theater and they have a meta scene where the audience is also watching a horror movie.
I think you said the best thing. This is meant to be watched with friends. Like I told Jay earlier, I wish I would have watched it with friends. This movie is sit down, enjoy it, talk shit about it. It's not so important to pay attention to the plot. I agree with you, Dan, on that. The plot is, shoestring thin, but it's fun and it's great. Real quick, Beard Fury says sometimes the movie being bad is part of the enjoyment.
There you go.
Not this one.
No, this was not bad though. This was not bad.
That applies to Street Fighter. With
I will
Jean-Claude
put this
Van
up
Damme.
with
That does not apply to the Blob.
I will put this up with what was that Wes Craven movie we watched? I can't even think of the name of it right now because
Birds.
Deadly Friend?
The one where the kid's in the house and the people are trying to kill him.
People Under the Stairs?
Yes,
Yeah.
I will put this up with people under the
Okay.
stairs.
Okay.
Oh,
I can't. Oh, whoa. I really like the Blob. It is
Yeah.
no People Under the Stairs.
No. What I'm saying is making me happy while watching because I was on the edge of my seat going like, what's going to happen next? Oh my God, I can't believe the Blob did that. That scene where the person got sucked down the drain, that scene where the kid in the yellow shirt got taken down into the water and he jumps up like fucking Jason Voorhees and does that made me so fucking happy.
Yeah, I totally agree that an entitled white town's plight, versus an inner city kid trying to get money for their cancer-ridden mom, it's pretty much the same thing. I totally agree.
Oh my God, I can't believe I said this on Juneteenth too. God damn.
Hey, well, they didn't kill.
Well, it's great being here. I'll see y'all later.
Take care, Dan. All right, guys. Anything else to say about the movie? Anything else at all?
Yes, my second favorite scene is when the guy has the grenades and the fucking Blob lands on him, and then he pulls the pins.
Even more so,
that's so money. That's so money.
The Blob fly swats somebody, and you see their fucking flattened body on his limb. That was awesome. That was so much fun.
It looked like something from Who's Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was so cartoonish.
I almost feel like they could have and this is where I disagree with the going small again. I think they could have had even more fun with that. They could have hit a few more people with that.
No.
You don't think it could be more cartoony? It's pretty cartoony as it is.
By the end,
I think that's the problem. Is those scenes that were cartoony were literally the problem to the movie. I mean, like the practical stuff was good, but every time they showed it like involved in the fight, it just, except for when it's like coming out of the doors, like whoever did that was phenomenal. Look at these little tech. But
the tentacles were really cool.
Yeah,
especially like when it grabbed her hair and you could see it searing it. It was like burning it, because it kind of gave you the idea that whenever it touched somebody, it was burning them.
And there were some cool shots in this, but the coolest shot was when the projectionist looks down the vent and the camera just rushes towards his face. That made me so happy, because that was such a unique shot to this movie, and I was like, it works, and it's actually terrifying, and it's just very cool and a very old school, very Hitchcockian. I think
they did quite a few of those little POV shots like that were just really, really nice, real fun.
And I love the idea. Sorry. No, go ahead.
Do you remember the scene where it looks like there's a scene of I forget what it was, but the Blob, and then it kind of explodes in itself, and like something comes out, and it's like doing this thing where it's kind of moving, but like growing at the same time.
Vagina shot where it's coming up.
That part, did that part almost kind of remind some of y'all of the tumor gun from Videodrome, with the way it kind of bulbous itself out and kind of like, that's what it reminded me of a lot.
I was thinking the worm in Tremors when he was right about to get the girl.
Oh, yeah.
When she couldn't get through the bars, I'm like, bitch, you ain't fat. You can fit through that. So big.
Anything else about the movie across the board? Got anything?
Shawnee Smith should be more famous than she is. That's
agreed. Absolutely agreed. She was in Decker with.
She was in the movie where they go to the asteroid. Not Deep Impact. The other one, Armageddon. Yeah, she was in Armageddon at the end.
And she's in every single Saw movie.
Up to 3, I think she's in, but she's killer in those movies.
Literally.
Right, let's go to recommend. Let's recommend it down the line. Let's start with Jay. Do you recommend it?
Yes, I thought I already did.
All right, you recommend it. Sean, do you recommend it?
I think we all recommend it, but Dan.
Yeah, I think down the line we do.
Oh, this bullshit! I was pulled in here. Can you imagine if like people invite you to a basketball court and you're like, "Sure, I'm game," and you show up, it's just like 6-on-1. Well,
or you show up to the basketball game and you're like, I hate basketball.
Please have me here.
There's like zero chance I would ever recommend this to anybody.
Zero. Watch out, Dan. He's taking your heat. He's taking all your heat.
I mean, the reality is, like, if someone came to me saying, "Hey, what would be a good movie to recommend?" Like, I can't honestly tell you. I would point them in this because they would never ask me again. Like, is it good for what it is and the bubble that you put it in? Sure, but I would never.
Just recommend it along with 3 grams of mushrooms. They will never forget it.
So did I enjoy it for what it was? Yes. Did I realize it was going to be terrible? It surprised me how bad it wasn't. You could see that the director of photography really cared about some shots, like when the old man's coming behind the tree and it has the lights, even the arm camera, because he knew he was going to go up and over, and I think whoever's the DP on this set was really on top of their game. And outside of the green rooms, all the weird blob weird cuts and that was crap. But the plot was nothing. But as far as what it was for the practicalness and the not the jump scare, but the blob eating people, I thought that was great. But no, I would never recommend this to anybody.
Damn. And what do we got? Red Nebula put a heart on us. And then Red Nebula subscribed for 15 months. Sweet Jesus. Thank you, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
You're welcome.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this movie does suck. He's right.
The podcast was fun, hopefully. Miles, do you recommend it?
Hell yeah, I recommend this movie, dude. It's super fun.
Fuck yeah. David, do you recommend it?
I recommend it. It's if you like 80s horror movies and you like practical effects, get in there, man, because it is a blast. And Shawnee Smith. The only thing I'm not a fan of doing the whole redoing CGI stuff or movies, but I think this movie would be a great recut. Take out the shitty effect scenes and then digitally remove that fucking hair off of Kevin Dillon and just give him a normal haircut. I think this movie is a lot better. Oh, by the way, one more really cool scene back in the 80s, we didn't have all the CGI. How about the motorcycle jumping with the truck crashing and the helicopter going over?
That was
the perfect take. Perfect.
That looked very expensive, especially with the helicopter above it. I was like, dude, that was great. Yeah, that was really good.
3 stuntmen died during that scene. Worth it.
Which makes it even better.
well worth it.
That's awesome. Raph, do you recommend it?
Yeah, man, absolutely. It was fun watch from beginning to end. It is shitty, crappy 80s movies, but it is just a fun.
It's terrible.
Watch.
I would strongly recommend it.
We're converting Raph. I think there's something to this though. Dan and Sean don't really like horror movies. The rest of us, excluding Raph, who's getting into horror movies, love horror movies. Maybe you have to be a fan of horror movies to begin with to enjoy this. So.
I think when I started, I thought it was horrors. So my bad.
I think everybody's
search engine.
It's a common mistake.
I think everybody's got to find their type of horror movie. For some reason, I think Sean would really love almost anything from A24.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, check out X if you get a chance. X was fucking amazing.
Give Tusk a try.
Guys, I just watched Green Knight yesterday, and that was fucking unreal, dude. And that's another A24 movie.
I love Black Knight.
Yeah. Black Knight.
A24 is pretty much going to have their own streaming network soon. They have so many films coming out.
They're killing it. They were so smart to release stuff during the pandemic. They've made their money back. They're kind of like Blumhouse. They're kind of just starting out, but they're making the money. Finally, though, Dan, you recommend it. I like how you just got more and more stoned just to deal with this podcast.
No, I stopped smoking
Smoke so you like the movie, Dan.
I stopped. I tried. I stopped smoking nicotine, so for the oral fixation, I just smoke whatever that is that I won't reveal. Well, I mean, if someone asked me on a Monday afternoon for a stupid movie to watch, if they didn't pick my first 4 suggestions, then yeah, I would pick this. I don't hate it. You guys are making me out to be like a fucking,
the villain, dude. You're the villain right now.
Or some shit. And I'm just like, no, I don't hate it. It just wasn't a good movie.
Hey everyone, it's just Duck jumping in here real quick to say thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you're enjoying it, head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast Network a like. And just so you know, the next section of the podcast will be clips from the movie, so you can find replays of the live video stream at twitch.tv/We Are Podcast Network and youtube.com/We Are Podcast Network. Once again, all links can be found in the description. Come check out our live stream every Monday at 8 p.m. And for a full list of future films, check out our social media. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast. And with that, back to the Horrorcast.
All right, well, let's rip these clips apart. That's what you were ready for. So let's get some clips.
Yes. Please play the football scene.
It better all just be Shawnee.
I'm gonna play a version of the football scene. We'll see what David thinks about it.
I just hope it's that last one where the guy gets knocked out.
It's not.
I just realized I call Sean Shawnee all the time. And
that's weird.
I really do.
Weird.
Like every day I go, hey Shawnee, and I think it might be because of Shawnee Smith.
Correct yourself.
Like it might
all
be very
makes sense.
Hopefully
It's because of my tits.
They're pretty nice.
19-year-old.
This is purely for David right here. Right there.
Thank you.
Right there.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God. Jesus.
You want to know my favorite football? All white football. I love it when it's all white dudes.
Happy Juneteenth, everybody.
There's one black guy. He's on the sideline for some reason.
But they didn't kill the black guys. Or the black people.
Dude, in reality, let's be real. The black guy is the real hero because he's the one who's got the snowmaker.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Dude, I even found the one black player on the sidelines. Like they show shots of the stands. I found his parents. Like that's how detailed they were. And they're like, oh, there's only one black guy on the team.
We got a black guy on our team. We got to make sure we have a black mom.
We got to have his parents there.
let's just see if the actor can really bring out his parents to send like a...
They couldn't though. There were actors too.
The blob lands.
It looks like a bullet, like a Mario bullet flying by.
Like Bullet Bill, yeah. There it goes, Bullet Bill.
I will say something I appreciated about this movie. I'm glad the dog ran away.
Yeah.
You never see the dog yet. The dog's like, I'm getting the fuck out of this town, out of the state.
Lindsay was watching with me, and she is like, "Oh, is this like the Thing? Is the dog the Blob?" And I was like, "Shut the fuck up."
So she didn't finish.
She's over at her mother's now.
Totally different script, completely different.
Ribbed.
Why doesn't he pay? I had to drag him down here as it is. I mean, the guy is totally irresponsible.
Hey, come on, Scott. What's the holdup? I can't keep this girl waiting.
You see what I mean?
Both the sheriff and the Reverend were trying to fuck the star quarterback, right?
The interaction between him and the Reverend was a little bit like that guy raped me. Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, I was thinking that from the moment that priest showed up. I was like, oh, he's coming to rape.
I haven't seen you in Sunday school lately, if you know what I mean.
Maybe people were like that in 1988, but I can't imagine two adults like that having a conversation with a kid like that. Like if it were today, they'd be like, "Eat shit, kid. Shut the fuck up. You know, leave us alone."
I'm buying condoms.
And then the Reverend gets hit with a twisted T.
Poking the blob. Never poke it with a stick. Sorry, that was loud as shit. Found this stick over here. I guess I'll poke this. Oh, gee, Jesus.
It's like my wedding night.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
I do
nice.
love that cut. That transition to the Jello is pretty brilliant.
That's pretty awesome. I believe in the original Blob, isn't that what they used was Jello or something like that?
Lots of gelatin. Yes.
And miniatures like crazy. They used a lot of miniatures in this. The phone booth, which we'll get to, is actually a miniature, which is pretty cool.
Well, no shit. That's brilliant.
The old man.
Yeah, it's cool.
That is badass. Oh, that is so.
It looks like a lasagna.
It does look pretty.
2 nights ago.
Does look pretty delicious.
I can't deny. I dig in.
Is Sean Hyde too? He's eating food.
If anyone knows a gastronomy expert that wants to make old man lasagna sometime, I'm your guy.
Go back to that shot and let's play Is It Cake?
All right. Oh shit!
God damn it! Does your wife make you watch that show too?
Yeah, that's a great show.
All right, let's see.
By the way, this whole hospital scene is
Might
the reason
be.
why healthcare in America sucks. It's everything that's wrong about healthcare in America. There's only one doctor. He's taking his time. They only accept people with insurance, and there's a shit ton of paperwork.
No, I remember that scene. Like he ran in there to tell the doctor, "Hey, this dude's dying," and the doctor just seemed like really bothered. Like, "Oh, someone's here to make me do my job."
Have you not finished the paperwork yet? Wait, is he a Blue Cross or Blue Shield? Which is it?
Did you hear when he walked by the first part? He's talking to that lady, and it sounds like he's telling her that she has cancer. He's like, you know,
No.
Yeah, if you like, it's short, and I'm like, wow, that is not a happy conversation. And then he pops in like, someone's dying, and then the lady leaves.
And she's like, well, I am too, just slowly. It's gonna take a while.
Is this what happens here? Everybody dies like this? I'm leaving.
So is it cake?
In a
It's
body
not.
bag.
The Blob hides. I like he's playing hide and seek with the kid.
That's not bad. That right there, that CGI is not bad.
Well, and again, you don't expect him to die here. Like that's the thing. Is
Very left field.
I like his eyeballs here in a second.
That's a great shot. Oh yeah, open that mouth, baby.
Oh wait, what's
Oh,
that?
sorry, what?
Well,
This was cool.
well,
I'd fuck that
also
mouth.
in the so for the video art, and I'm sure David can attest to this. The video art is him.
Yes.
The video art is Paul in that exact scene, and obviously I think it's distorted enough that you don't put one and one together when you first see Paul that he's going to be the one.
Yeah.
That's the one that sells it. That movie poster sucks. That movie poster absolutely sucks. But the video art really saved it.
Well, and he said it was like being waterboarded. He said it felt like he was suffocating because he really has that shit over his face.
Oh damn.
And that was slime from 1988, so you know he got cancer.
He did that for this movie. Like a lot of unnecessary sacrifice.
Jessup would take cancer right now if he got to do a scene with Shawnee, though. So
So was that arm cake?
This is the first time I've heard of this lady. Y'all are talking about her like I'm supposed to have been knowing her, and I do not know this lady.
Her biggest role after this was probably The Stand.
Yep.
She was real big in The Stand in 94.
Which by the way, this movie has a ton of Stand references in it.
Oh, absolutely.
Interesting.
Tons of them.
That's another movie I haven't seen in a really long time.
That's a sweet setup, brah.
It makes me nervous, like the idea of him driving and hitting a corner. He'd have to drive really slow. She's like, why are you taking these corners so slow?
I don't want to get another car wreck.
That was
my
Pete.
drive is just parked outside of mom's house.
I don't want to spill the 10 of Hawaiian Punch in my back.
That was my PT Cruiser in 2013.
Just killing it. The Blob thinks rape is not cool too.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Show the.
Oh, got him.
No means no.
This should have been in the PSA right here.
I would have preferred I would have liked her face to like do a Stranger Things thing.
That would have been
because
cool.
that going in, you could see the texture of the latex. It kind of looks fake, but I like the tentacles coming out.
That was fake.
Wait, that didn't really happen.
Sorry.
Insane death scene.
Spoiler.
I love this. This is the best, one of the best death scenes.
That's the best one in my book.
That's just smegma. That he was just holding smegma.
Oh, right into the drain.
Like his head first, bro. Whoa.
That's so good.
And then his hand is right there by his foot now.
How did he lose a shoe, though? I'd like to know.
I love how Kevin Dillon's like, no, don't help him.
He did lose a shoe between it getting sucked into the drain. What happened to the shoe?
Hey, wait, you can't fit the shoe down the drain. That's
He fit
fine.
one.
Oh,
it's a one shoe minimum.
You can't do it.
In the next scene, the Blob's
Fucking
wearing
guy.
the shoes.
He's walking around town with them like, you like my kicks, bitch?
Well, the Blob did have like little trinkets. He was like a serial killer. He had the school ring. He had the sheriff's badge. He kept on taking stuff from people.
The sheriff got bloobed.
Well, I think because he couldn't digest those things, right?
Yeah, there you go.
He was just pimping, dude.
Yeah, he was stealing.
There it is. Oh, shit.
You said 11.
That's wonderful. And then she gone, but she gone.
Like I said, this is a miniature. They tried to do it with an actual cast of her, but they couldn't get it.
But then they killed her.
So good.
They killed her. They had to pay for her funeral.
The projectionist.
It's crazy because you do get involved with these people, and when they die, you're like, "Oh shit!" But that was pretty cool.
See, I did not. Yeah. I did not have any.
I did
feelings
look
for
at
By the
it.
way,
Yo-Yo is so
that
stupid.
that
I'm so
manager
fun.
of the theater was every single manager at every theater growing up as a kid. Just beaten down. Just I fucking hate my life.
Bald.
Yeah.
Take me now.
Back to casting. It's all about casting.
Yep.
When I worked at AMC theaters 25 years ago, and for some reason, all the managers, you had to call them Mr. something. And I'm like, this is so stupid.
But yeah, everyone at the Improvs calls Jay Mr. J. So
Mr.
it's
J.
all fucking full circle.
I get called lots of things. Mr. J is definitely not one of them.
And he calls Sean
I do
Mr.
it in the Harley Quinn voice. Mr. J.
Well, yeah, but it's because you're gentle and sweet.
Yeah,
Good
they put
comeback.
on
Got
the
weird.
clothing too.
Yeah, that got weird.
Then go.
Yeah,
Take care of yourself.
They're shooting an entirely different movie in Kevin Dillon's nostrils. Look at that shit.
Theater Massacre.
Fucking love
Trying
it.
to watch it.
There he goes.
Boobs. And that's a bootleg Johnny.
Oh, how great also was the callback
Halloween.
to his jacket being hard to put on.
Yes,
Remember the mom was
dude.
putting on the
When he
jacket like,
gets
oh, this
stuck.
gets stuck all the time. Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize they were in Mockingbird Theater. That's crazy.
Oh, bro, that was badass.
That looks real.
Yeah, they really melted her face.
Ramping that bitch. There he goes.
Sweet shot.
This is the fucking action moment of the movie.
Everybody was hoping he was gonna fall again, right?
A little bit.
No way. He was definitely making it.
That's a really intricate
Dude,
shot.
That was the
Dude.
bridge he was looking at the beginning of the movie, and he was like, I'm gonna jump this fucking bridge.
But once
But
again,
with
all
a truck
that-
and a helicopter chasing me.
That's a
They
fucking
could've-
great shot.
How
That's a
does that
fucking
work?
great shot.
But
Yep.
how does the helicopter lose him?
Because he's in the woods.
Helicopters
That
can't cross
helicopter was like,
bridges,
whoa.
dumbass.
1988. They don't
I
have
was gonna say it's
thermal
1988.
cameraing.
Yeah.
I think it might be because it's in the fucking script that it is.
Once you jump the
Yellow
bridge,
is-
that helicopter can't make it.
Yellow shirt kid. This kid gets it so bad.
This is probably my favorite death of the movie.
Pretty good.
Because it's a child.
They don't kill kids that often.
I was 12, and so like first time I saw it, I was like, "Holy shit! None of us are safe." Oh, they can get all of us. We're all gone.
That had Jason vibes from the end of Friday the 13th Part 1,
Oh,
where he's
yeah,
like
it
coming
did.
out of the lake at the end, the way he comes out of the water all mangled.
Yeah, I don't think that was an accident, but there's a lot of I think this movie has a lot of names dropped throughout, like the fact that the main character, his name is Flag. That's definitely a reference to Randall Flagg. And there's there's a lot of different little
Penny? Pennywise.
Pennywise.
Yeah.
There's a
Is
ton
it
of
a
different little
coincidence? Or was it
No.
like on purpose?
No,
Dude,
Frank Darabont's a
Yeah.
huge Stephen King fan.
Yeah, he went on to direct like 3 of his movies. No, it was not a coincidence.
So this is his resume.
Yeah.
Pretty much,
This is
yeah, you nailed it.
him saying,
Yeah,
hey,
absolutely.
Steven, I like your shit. How do I know? Look at my movie. Every single one of your books is referenced it in it.
Beard Fury says, tell Raph that Diamond will share his collection of 80s horrors with him. Who the hell is Diamond?
Sweet. Hey, Neil, thanks for watching.
Yeah,
That's
Neil,
my
thanks
best
for
friend, Neil,
watching.
aka Diamond from high school.
Your best friend is Neil Diamond?
Yeah, bro.
Turn on your hot light.
Yeah, we're
Fucking
coming
amazing.
to America.
Holy shit, dude. Thanks for tuning in, Mr. Diamond.
Sweet Caroline.
Forever in blue jeans, babe.
Ramping the
thank you,
blue. Ramping the blue.
And then next week I have Neil Diamond on here. You guys
That'd
should
be
know.
awesome. Like you're holding out your back pocket that Neil Diamond was your best friend the whole time.
Yeah.
From high school. It's kind of weird, but don't tell anybody.
I want to party with you.
Neil Diamond just came to my high school and never left.
I'm looking for kids to hang out with. Come on.
When did this turn into a Saving Silverman podcast?
Bazooka Joe.
Hold on. Are we just
Raphael.
gonna skip over that whole fucking scene?
Yeah, then they
Oh,
jumped
yeah.
over the
What
blob,
about
man.
how
Moving on.
badass it was?
Hey, it
You're
was- it
right.
was
We need to go
dry.
back to that.
Yeah, let's.
This
This
is how-
second best
what did
scene
you
in the
think of
movie.
that scene?
This is how the podcast works. We just move on.
What Dan's opinion?
This
Dan,
is
what's your
basically
fancy
Luke Skywalker with Princess Leia jumping over that big chasm.
It's about as exciting as, isn't
Dude,
it?
I said earlier when I was watching this, it gave me Star Wars vibes with like the guys in like the white suits walking around. They felt like stormtroopers.
He didn't do anything. He just avoided a big pile of shit.
And the guy, they were
Hey, you couldn't do
shots.
that, Dan. You tried that in this big tunnel, and there's poop around.
You can try it. I dare you.
Challenge.
And there's poop around.
You
That
see
makes-
us
I do like how all
He
these
that makes
put
it
his
so
foot
much
on the
harder.
ground. He put his
all these
foot on
kids
the
know how to
ground.
use weapons.
Cut
I
to
like that.
2:30 in the morning. Dan's on a motorcycle. We got a shit ton of gelatin. We're pushing it towards him. Like, can you do it, Dan?
You're not gonna show. You're not gonna show me up, guys.
Bazooka Joe.
How does this
Oh
work?
yeah, oh
I'll
yeah.
figure it
That
out.
guy needs a bazooka. That guy needs a
By the way,
bazooka.
that's Bill Moseley.
It wasn't
What?
really?
That's Bill Moseley.
Word.
Fuck yeah.
Love Bill Moseley.
How was this explosion bigger than that fucking mine?
Yes, I wondered the same thing. This explosion was bigger than the one at the end of the movie. Didn't make any sense. You already blew your
ridiculous.
fucking load on this one.
Maybe because there's more air.
Oh, there was
Bring-
methane down there
bring
from the poop.
science into it. That's
It's
fine.
in the script.
Literally, it says right there the truth. Did you
It's
see
in
that?
the script.
It's in the script. How's that answer feel, you fuckhead?
I love it. This guy gets it.
I'll buy that for $1.
The truth.
It's some kind of a
Paul
germ
McCain,
warfare
right?
tactic. Fucked up. Don't try it.
Got him.
I said.
That guy was racist, so he deserves it. Bootleg Morgan Freeman.
The blob erupts.
No, Dougie. Can you go back to that cop's face for just a second? Not that one, the beginning of the last. Of the last one? When the cop's holding the, no, before that, he's like,
Oh my God.
And he's like, yeah, that is the first time I've ever seen a cop's face of like, should I have my gun out right now?
He definitely was in that. Oh
Look at
shit!
that
I was
face.
just a deputy. I'm just a deputy. What the fuck is going on?
I should throw this down and run.
There's no bullets. There's no bullets in that
Oh
gun.
yeah, there
right?
not Yeah, you can see that. There's no bullets. You're right.
Yeah. Okay, this movie sucks.
Oh man.
Fix that in post.
Got him.
When do I tell everyone my gun has no bullets in it?
The blue.
No, but you guys are right. This is great. It's a good movie. That's
Right?
The blob erupts.
Changed my opinion completely.
Man. Oh, real. There's your
looks like
scene wrap.
this looks like a big old dick coming out of the sewer.
That's pretty
Inside of
bad.
a flashlight.
Some little stop motion there for you.
That looked real.
I like it. Here we go. Slam.
Yeah,
body
that's
flattened.
That's pretty bad.
Like you said, yeah, a little bit of Roger Rabbit right there.
And then we
He
find out
was,
Sean is
the person
legally
was
blind.
Snowmaker 5000.
That was convenient for them to have that.
I
In
mean, this whole
Louisiana.
movie is an allegory about global warming. So again, the leftist elites get it wrong.
That's why it's a snow machine. It's for the snowflakes, obviously.
Nailed it. This guy gets it. Stop the blob. Stop the steal.
You've just been booked on Alex Jones.
The cop
Hey, babe.
gets bloobed.
Just like
I thought he
2
was
seconds.
shot. Why is he acting normal now?
Yeah.
Because he wants to get the fuck out of there. Oh.
He
He's
looked
out of
like he
there.
was fucking for a little bit, didn't he? Like he was fucking that wall.
I had no problem with that scene because I really enjoyed RoboCop, so that guy deserved
Oh
it.
yeah.
Shawnee saves the day.
The same line she used here is what Kevin Dillon used in Platoon when he died.
Oh yeah, that's
Same
right.
exact line.
Oh, her shoe. Oh, so convenient.
Oh, typical
She is-
Hollywood. They have to have a guy save the girl.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, that's because that bitch put on designer boots that day, and now she's got it stuck. Why you don't buy designer boots?
I like how it destroyed all of it. Like there wasn't like it got every bit of the blob.
Best
No, it
Christmas
didn't.
movie
Actually,
ever.
no, it didn't.
No. You didn't watch the end, did you, you fucker?
Hold on.
If you guys are saying there's a post-credit scene, I'm already telling you I didn't see it.
I actually feel like the end credit scene should have been a post-credit scene.
Oh,
And then you wouldn't have known what happened.
The Blob turned into crystal meth.
And that guy was doing
Because
it.
legit, this is a weird ending to the movie. Because usually in a Hollywood movie, you'd have like the guy and the girl getting together and showing the aftermath. Showing this reference scene at the end is kind of weird. So
Frank
Bring it up
Darabont,
for a
man.
sequel.
Apocalyptic scene.
Blob 3.
Like he talks to it, jerks off in it.
Yeah, what did he do that he put it on his face?
No, that was the
from the
fire.
fire.
Oh, he caught
Flamethrower.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, he doesn't do auto blob asphyxiation or anything.
It looks like he does.
all right, guys, that's the Blob. Yeah, I liked it. So let's talk about some other movies that you guys might like. Check out The Mist, also a Frank Darabont movie with one of the best
happiest ending ever.
Ever, yes.
10 out of 10.
One of the
Phenomenal movie. You're not invited.
So good,
Dan.
so good. This is Dan. You are invited to check this one out because
No,
I think
I love Thomas Jane.
Yes, and this movie. Have you seen
And the
this movie
entire
before?
cast of The Walking Dead season 1.
Have you? Yes. Have you seen this movie before? Because it is fucking amazing. It's about a
Wait,
group of people
are you guys
stocking a
serious at
grocery
10?
store. What's that?
Are you serious? You're giving this a 10?
Yes.
I will,
Yeah.
absolutely. No
Oh,
doubt.
now I gotta see it just to see the
yeah,
disagreement.
No doubt.
So
No doubt.
good. The fucking spider creatures scare the shit out
The
of me.
same fucking character actor. Hold on,
Everyone.
go back.
Everyone.
Go back. The
No,
same
it's everyone
character
across
actor
the
as
board.
the sheriff from the Blob is in this
Yeah,
fucking
it's all
movie.
Yes, they're Frank Darabont guys.
Yep.
Yeah, dude.
Casting. It's all about
It's
casting.
awesome. It's awesome. Fucking, it's got the Grim Reaper from Bill and Ted right there. Come on, how do you not want to see
Dude,
this?
Marsha Gay Harden and the
Is
fucking Mist.
killer.
Masterclass of acting. Absolute
so
masterclass.
Yeah, so good. This movie holds up. I might put this in my top 5 when we get to the
Is
100th
there titty?
episode, So
No.
And
no.
I've got it in black and white if anyone wants to see it, because that was the way Frank Darabont originally intended it.
Yeah,
I
that's
would
awesome.
love to watch that. By the way, I would also like to discuss that character right there is so fucking annoying and unbelievable, because when shit gets weird, he's the only guy that doesn't believe it. And everything's happening right in front of him. He's a fucking dick for not believing it. I hate that guy.
He's like a Trump supporter.
He's the one black Trump supporter.
All right, next we got Slither. All right, a little bit of
yeah.
James Gunn action, a little bit of awesome.
That's
Love
a
the
great one.
Slither.
Yeah,
That's a
Slither
great
is
one.
killer in this movie.
I'm
couldn't
so
help me but
hooked.
Yeah, I think that was
praise
better than The
Slither.
Mist. Definitely.
That's
Oh.
like
Why
the
don't you
only.
ask me? Why don't you ask me back for like fucking
A good one.
Yeah,
Slither, we will. We'll have you on Slither, dude. It'll rock. But
I
Slither,
gotta watch the fucking Blob.
No, Slither feels like Slither
I think
feels
this
like
is the
this
only movie Pam from The Office is ever in, other than being Pam in The Office.
Well, she was married to James Gunn.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, shit. I did not know that. Well, all right. Those are my recommendations. Anyone else got a recommendation? Good.
I would like to recommend, because that kind of has the same vibe of the small town being taken over by a government chemical fuck up, which is The Crazies.
Ooh.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That
that's
is
really
good.
Crazy is a bit of all right.
Toy
Miles, what
Story
you got?
3.
That's a depressing ending, Sean. That
Oh,
ending
Jesus,
made me
dude.
cry.
That's like Miss level terrible.
Toy Story 3.
Miles, what you got?
I'm going for a movie that's also that small town government takeover, but it leans way more into the Looney Tunes aspect. It's Evolution from 2001. It's more of a like sci-fi
Love it.
comedy.
Yeah.
But it's got similar vibes, and it somehow has better effects, but they look worse, but it works. I don't know.
Wait, that wasn't a
Ivan Reitman.
documentary?
What's that?
I said that.
Was
Never
not.
mind.
It's directed by Ivan Reitman, so he's trying to capture more of that Ghostbusters magic,
Yeah.
and boy, does it fall flat.
Yep. David Duchovny, Sean William Scott, Julianne Moore. Who's the fourth?
Orlando Jones.
Right at the height
That's a
of the
great
Make
movie.
7 Up Yours fame too. Like that's when he was like peaking from that.
Then he got
Love
replaced
that
by
movie.
Godfrey.
Well, Jay, what you got? What's your recommendation?
Well, if you want to take the seriousness of the Blob and some of the kookiness of the original Blob, and you want to throw them together and see what you got, I will recommend the 1980s spoof horror movie, The Stuff. A phenomenal movie that's all about capitalism and overconsumerism, and the enemy is pink slime.
Interesting.
Shit.
The stuff.
Sean, other than Toy Story 3, do you got anything you want to recommend?
You know, this had the feel at the beginning, kind of It Follows. Do you remember that one?
Oh, we watched that
we
here
watched it.
recently.
We
Love
loved
It Follows.
That's probably one of my favorite.
And Sean,
horror movies.
you say that. Did
Hi,
you
Lindsay.
catch the scene with the car that looked like the scene from It Follows?
It just
Clever
it was just smelled. I mean, they had to have been influenced by this. They had to look at, because there's just so many kind of like little things that they did.
Because that scene from It Follows where he's like basically drugging her and raping her, it was almost a shot for shot from the Blob.
Yeah,
it was really,
I would
really
agree.
cool. I love It Follows, man. It's one of my all-time
It Follows
favorite
is amazing. Raph, you got any recommendations?
Yeah, The Abyss.
Yeah, you said that earlier. Do you feel like
Yeah.
this movie is like The Abyss in some way? Other than
No, it reminded me of it because they go down to an oil rig that's underwater, and then they start getting like there's an
Abyss.
enemy tube.
Both
here's the
movies
Blob,
are
like-
one-word names.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It's great.
The Abyss is not hilarious.
He's like, no, Abyss is good.
Yeah, it's good.
It's good. It is a good one.
Did you watch The
recommend it.
Abyss today? Is that why you're
No,
recommending
no.
it?
It just reminded me of it for real. You should have pulled out the clip. It would have been wonderful.
Oh shit. Well, Dan, do you got any recommendations? Anything?
Muppets Take Manhattan.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. I don't know
Ninja
how-
Turtles.
Jason takes the Muppets taking Manhattan.
I don't know. Stranger Things season 4.
Hey, have you guys been to the Stranger Things store in Grapevine Mills yet?
No.
Yeah,
I have not.
Pretty fun, man. That's pretty fun.
Everything's like way more expensive than it should be, and you can literally buy the same stuff at Hot Topic like 3 stores down.
Oh yeah, 3 stores down.
But
and they have
the
no
stores
sizes in the shirts. It's all, but it's just cool sitting on the couch. You know.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
seeing-
100%.
Yeah.
There's still a Hot Topic.
Can I fight children over on the Stranger Things place?
Yes.
It's the same rules and laws as everywhere else in Texas. It's just a store, dude.
No, dude, it's the upside down, bro.
That's fucking awesome. All right, guys, let's go to all of our social links. Miles, starting with you, where can they find you?
You can follow me pretty much everywhere at Mr. Most Days Off. And if you want to check out my Simpsons podcast, you can find that at Best Darn Diddley.
Fuck yeah. Raph, where can they find you?
It's right there, RFLSON87. And I have more clips coming up, time-lapse videos. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Neil, for showing up. Thank you, Johnny. I think he's watching. And Betty and Hope. Thank you, guys.
Yes, thank you very much. Sean, where can they find your podcast?
You can find it at Sean T37 on MySpace.
Very
No.
nice. So using the MySpace.
Wait, we gotta email you for your fucking podcast.
Make sure you send it to Y-mail. It's very important. Dan,
Alta
where can
Vista.
All right, no, but seriously, what is your podcast, Sean?
I talk with comics. It's my green room, Sean's green room, and then I have another one with my wife with where apparently it's really popular. Just killing it.
It's more popular than you think.
So I've heard.
So Dan, where can they find everything you do?
No.
He doesn't want to plug it.
I'll do it if you don't do it.
Twitter at Dan Danzy, Facebook at Dan Danzy. You can catch me on the Counting Lights podcast on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, and Stitcher, where wrestling and comedy lock up. And then you can watch me stream video games on twitch.tv/RedW the Pictures. And you can go to my website, Dan Danzy, for upcoming stand-up comedy show dates. Back to you.
Do you promise that you will play Turtles with Miles soon? Because that excited me.
I'm playing like as soon as we get done here. I wish you guys would hurry up if I'm being honest.
Stream it. I'll get on there.
Oh, awesome. I love it. David, where can they find you?
You can check out my stop motion videos at Stop Motion Nightmares on Facebook and Instagram at Children of Dave. And I'll be at the Haunters Horror Convention July 16th and 17th in Mesquite. Come check out my horrific artwork I'll be selling there.
It is horrific artwork. That shit scares me, dude.
Did you do Fan Expo this year, David?
No. I
Okay.
do the ones I do are Oddities and Curiosities Expo and then the Haunters Convention.
Gotcha.
We're
Okay.
authors. Checking it out. And you can find us at wearepodcast.podbean.com, where you can find all the podcasts. Check us out on our social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at /wearepodcast. Of course, you can find us every Monday for Camp/Horrorcast, where we talk horror movies from the past every Monday at 8 p.m. Central. Next week will be something. Let's find out what it'll be real quick, because that is the one thing I didn't prepare. God damn it, I did well on everything else, but I got to that one and I totally fucking blanked.
Yeah.
What will we be watching next week? It'll be the sadness.
What the fuck?
The sadness with Will Sonamo. Oh shit, this movie Will said Miles is gonna hate.
I wanted to watch this one. I was excited for it. I saw the advertisement.
And
it's
you
in like
realize
German or some shit.
Yeah, it's Korean.
Fuck, we gotta read.
You gotta
I don't know
read.
any German.
We gotta read.
Gotta read.
Hey Miles, I'll come over and I will read it for you.
In
But
the
I
voice.
will
Will
read
you
it.
act it out with your, like, with your art figures? Like, you
I
have
will
to,
act it
like,
out
read it for me?
as the main guy from The Room. So I will do it in that
That's
accent
awesome.
from the guy that directed The Room.
You're tearing me apart.
That is awesome. I want to say special thank you to Dan and Sean for being here. Thank you guys so much.
Yes,
You're
guys.
always
It was so
welcome
much
on the
fun.
cast.
Thank you,
Thank you for
guys.
being here. With that said, keep horror in your heart, motherfuckers. Fuck you, Will. Holy shit, he pulled a fucking Danzy out of nowhere and he said, fuck you, Will. Look at that. The Dan, you should come back next week so that the rivalry can continue.
Hey, what are you talking about?
The rivalry lives.
Yeah, between you
What
and Will,
rivalry?
between you and Will there. That's gonna go on.
Did he just put something?
Yeah,
You
he
did.
will after I send him a message and say
He's gonna start shit.
yeah. I know. All right, guys, keep pouring your heart. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Gonna cut the feed now.
Later's Neil.
Cutting it. If I
Don't
can
tell
bring
me
it
to
out.
start shit with people, because I will start shit with people. Don't
Don't
ever,
do it.
He'll
don't
hack
ever
his
Don't do
computer
it.
again. He'll fucking
No,
hack them
yeah.
so quick.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
And there it is. Thank you again so much for checking out the podcast today. If you enjoyed it, head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, and iTunes, and give We Are Podcast Network a like. And since this is Camp/Horrorcast, if you want to check us out live, we will be on Twitch and YouTube every Monday at 8 p.m. Central Time. You can find us at twitch.tv/We Are Podcast Network and youtube.com/We Are Podcast Network. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, you're going to love the other podcasts here on the We Are Podcast Network. We have We Are Air, where we talk movies, entertainment, whatever the fuck we want to talk about. That's me, that's Jake, and that's Javi. We're breaking down that pop culture, and we're having so much fun. And don't forget to check out We Are Bagu, a video game podcast, where we talk Atari to Steam and everything in between. That's me and Dr. Ethan Eastwood breaking down all that video game lore, heroes, Gyros, a Dungeons and Distractions side quest. Me and the boys were playing some D&D. You can start that one from Season 1, Episode 1. It's a blast the whole way through. And I Hate Being Sober. Personal stories from epic people. I sit down with some of my favorite people of all time. We talk about their trials, their tribulations, and their journey this far. Also, check the links in the description for our social media. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast Network. With that said, hopefully we see you in the live stream.